Hi there, I'm Ben Mankiewicz. Welcome to Turner Classic Movies. We're all about a mythic anti-hero tonight, a man with no name who is instantly recognizable to classic movie fans around the world. He's the character played by Clint Eastwood in the spaghetti westerns of Italian director Sergio Leone's Dollars trilogy from the mid-1960s. We just presented the first film in the trilogy, A Fistful of Dollars from 1964, and we're following the man with no name into his second film appearance, the aptly titled For a Few Dollars More, released in Italy in 1965 and in the U.S. 2 years later. All three films in the trilogy were released in the States in 1967. If you're paying attention to the dates, you realize these films were made essentially one after the other. When Leone completed the first of the three, the Italian studio financing the project instantly loved what it was seeing and wanted production on the next film to begin immediately. Eastwood had not even seen the first film when he was approached to make the sequel. Once he saw it, he knew it was something special. It didn't matter that the print he saw was in Italian with no subtitles. Visually, Eastwood knew the film was substantive. In this sequel, For a Few Dollars More, Eastwood plays a bounty hunter who teams up with another tough guy, played by Lee Van Cleef. Together, they plan to take down a notorious outlaw, and we gradually learn that their motivations may not be as in sync as they originally seemed. For a Few Dollars More was an even bigger hit than A Fistful of Dollars, noted for its symbolism and flashbacks to facilitate the story, something Leone would use effectively in his later masterpiece, Once Upon a Time in the West. For a Few Dollars More was also praised for its unusual score, written by a fledgling Italian composer by the name of Ennio Morricone. The first film in the trilogy was scored by Dan Savio, but that was just an Americanized pseudonym for Ennio Morricone. Here it is from 1965, Clint Eastwood in For a Few Dollars More. You might have noticed that some of the characters in the film referred to the man with no name as Manco or Manco. In the scripts for all three films in Sergio Leone's Dollars trilogy, the man with no name actually did have names assigned to him. He's named Joe in the original script for A Fistful of Dollars and Blondie in The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. There's some disagreement among critics and film scholars on whether he's called Manco or Manco in this second film. Some think Il Manco could be short for Il Monaco, which in Italian means the monk, which is consistent with his quiet style, the poncho he wears, and a supposed tradition of gunmen with religious names in spaghetti westerns. But in both Italian and Spanish, respectively, Manco and Manco mean one-handed, which would also be appropriate since the character seems to do everything except shoot with his left hand. Bottom line, the man with no name sounds better than either Manco or Manco or Jim or Blondie. Up next, the third, and what many contend is the best film in the Dollars trilogy, and the only one of the three not to have the word dollars in the title.